Know you should email your list, but you're struggling to write the emails, right? Well, in this video, I'll show you 3 email templates you can use to create all of the emails in your nurture sequence. And these are not for launching an offer or for follow-up emails in a sales funnel. For those types of emails, you'd use a different set of psychological buying triggers. Whereas your nurture sequence is about connecting to your audience so they want to buy from you when you do make an offer during those launch or your sales funnel sequences. Now, after this clip, I'll tell you how to get a copy of the templates that I'm discussing in the clip. For those of you who don't know, my name is Fortune. I'm a self-publishing strategist for established coaches and consultants who want to write a book and use that book to grow their business. And I've created a proprietary method of getting your book out of your head in less than 4 hours using a phone and a few websites. Now, before taking you over to the clip, I want to give you some context so you know exactly what you're watching. The 10-minute segment that I'm sharing with you is from a call with a student in my Wealthy Author Growth Program. Because you don't want to just write a book and then not do anything with it. There's courses, there's consulting, there's coaching, all types of offers you can make from the book. So in this video, we've already created her expert website and a lead magnet for her business, but we didn't have an email sequence to connect with her people who downloaded her magnet. So we're going to create that sequence right now. Let's cut to the clip.
Okay, so you just keep it to like 3 points, and it could just be one main point. No more than 3, but you could just make it just one key point.
Okay.
And so you got to have something that's simple like this. You have a headline or like a call to attention grabber, attention grabbing sentence. So this could be a question. But remember, I have a very simple process for doing this. You go back to your statement, tell a story. Remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Then I would keep it real simple right here. We're just going to do your O's or just like your obstacle, opportunity. But you don't necessarily have to go through all those. So for this, I'll put all them on there just in case so you know what they are. This is your obstacle. So what's the problem they're facing? What's the opportunity? So if they solve this, how's it going to help them? Then objectives, what are they going to do? Giving them the tips. Recap. We're gonna have the recap. So it's a recap or a review what they just said, and tell them what to do. Okay. Boom. Very simple. Now you're gonna just tell a story. Is very short. You don't even have to tell that much of a story. It ain't even got to be really a full story. The story could be in here, and we'll work on it. So you don't have to be perfect. Just get it done. Okay.
Okay.
Get this email done. And again, we're talking about like 300 words. You don't need to make this long. Okay. 300 words or less. Okay. You don't need long emails. The same thing goes here for this story email going into my first family meal as a vegan. That's a very simple story process. So again, just have a statement, basically again about what you're going to do, about what you're going to tell them, something shocking. Same thing. Now, when it gets here, this one you're stressing your story. So that's your stressing. Boom. I'm highlighting what you need to stress. Here's a short, everything else you can keep kind of short. They can be like 1 line or 2 lines, but you're going to stress those. Does that make sense? And the value email, all this other stuff can be like 1 sentence. You don't need a lot. But we're stressing the value. What are they going to learn? Okay, which is how to use the healthy food list. Okay. And now we'll change the headline. It's like, they looked at me like I was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
As I pass on. Something like that. Okay, so again, the highlighting here is to tell a story. So you're going to be doing more about, focusing more on a story, and maybe you pull a little line out of it, you know, the point of the message. So you wouldn't be going into a full thing here, obstacle, opportunity, objective. This would be more of like, what is the point of the story? What's the moral of the story? And you won't necessarily need a review necessarily for this one, but I'm just giving you the full template here. So boom, matter of fact, I'll pull it out of here. So for this one, tell a story. And do I need to give you the full headline on telling the story? Do you need the prompts for the story? Like setting, situation, all that type of stuff?
I would like a review. It says
Okay.
setting.
Okay. I'll put it in there.
Okay.
All right. This one's telling a story. So we have Joe B, and then we'll wrap it up here. Because that'll be enough for now. Oh, and then you have the testimony of your journey. So this is you just, this is a 5-part story. So this is 5-part. We have setting. So what was going on? Hold on. I'm just going to copy and paste so I don't have to type all this stuff out. It's so much faster. All right. Pull on up. And those of you, as you're listening to this, is part of, and I'm telling you this too, Tracy, because you have access. I think I give you access. Let me make sure, but you have access to the story formula. So you have full access to what I'm about to talk to you about, okay? What's taking so long? Move over here. Maybe not more, I'll tell you. All right, cool. You have full access to the story formula. And I'll pull it up real quickly so you don't have to, so we know exactly what we're talking about. Um, 7-part. All right, so copy. This one goes here. Copy. All right, so here we have the 7 parts. Email sequence or storytelling sequence. And again, you don't have to make it really, it doesn't have to be extravagant. It's just giving you the process, okay? Boom. 5-part storytelling. So what's the setting? So what was going on? So this is for your testimonial. What was the setting? So what was going on in your life? What was the situation like? What's the problem that you were facing as far as the junk food? Okay. The solution. How did you solve that problem? What did you do to change that? And then because of that, you created it. There's some system that you use. And it may be vegan, and you're not telling everybody to be vegan, but it might just be that you had to change how you approached your food, how you prepared your food. Like there was something system that you use. So what was that? And then what does success look like on the opposite side? After doing that, what does it look like? Now you talked about a lot of in your book, but this is like an introduction to your story. Okay. That's your testimonial. And that same strategy works for every. So this is, if you think about it, this is the before, this is the during, and this is the after. That's basically what that comes out to. Okay. Now up here into your story email, who's the character, and you had a problem. So what is the problem that you was going at that you were having as far as going into this family meal, which is somewhat basically like I was going into the family meal, not knowing how everybody's going to take me because I had this whole diet and I didn't know what I was going to be eating. Is it like, should I bring my own food? The family's got, so you need to remember, details and remember emotion need to be in there. Details and emotion. Let them know what you're thinking and what you're feeling. That's where people connect. That's where your readers connect. Okay. So don't hold that stuff in about how you were feeling stressed or torn or upset or confused. All those words are how people are going to feel. So you got to give it to them so they connect with you. Okay. Boom. So then, and you meet a guide. So you don't necessarily have to meet a guide in this situation. The meeting of the guide here is basically it's more of your thinking. What was your the guide you had in the situation? Unless you actually talked to someone about this. Did you talk to someone before you went into that meal, or you just had a conversation with yourself and basically yourself and God? Okay, so that meets a guide is you having a conversation with yourself. It's not someone else. The guide is yourself. You're conscious. You're thinking. You know what I'm saying? That's what that would be. And who offers the plan? So obviously you're going to say, here's the plan, and maybe you had a new perspective that you had to think about. Like, this is the perspective after sitting there thinking to myself and battling, and whether I should go. That I finally came to the conclusion. So that's your guide. Your guide is yourself, right?
Mhm.
And then the calls for action. So you went and you did it. So you got to tell them what you actually did. And what kind of failures or successes you can give, like one crazy thing that happened or whatever, if you had one that you didn't, that happened at the dinner, and then the success of the dinner. You walked out of there. What was the success out of that? And then ultimately, this is your transformation. What did you learn because of it? What did you learn because of it? And then finally, you're going to transition back to, you're going to definitely at the end, you got to transition, you got to plug, you got to transition back to this transformation. After transformation, it plugs back into the, basically tell them to use the download. Okay. So basically you're connecting it back to you. Let me not tell them to connect to the download. Connect your story to the download, your message to them. That's the better way of saying it.
So the templates used are the story formula and 2 other story actual formulas. And if you like a copy, drop the word story, STORY, in the comments below, and I'll send it out to you. And as always, you can do, you can have anything you want in this world. You've just got to believe. You can live a life of no doubt, just blessings. I will show you how right here. For all you no doubters out there, we always remember this. Always remember, you're only one book away from your next breakthrough in your life or in your business. So go out there and make life happen every day. God bless. I'll talk to you next time.